Let us stand. Let us pray. Our Heavenly Father, Lord God, it's again and another time that we collect ourselves together to do business on behalf of Jasper County and all of its citizens and involved persons. Lord, we ask you to go with us throughout this meeting, that you would lead, guide, and direct us, that we will make those decisions that are not only beneficial for the folks of Jasper County, but most of all, Lord, pleasing in your sight. Give us wisdom, knowledge, and understanding as we proceed. In your Son, Jesus' name we pray. Amen? Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'd like to thank Dr. Bosses for leading us into the edification and pledge allegiance. The next thing on our agenda this evening, I'd like a motion to approve the agenda for this afternoon.
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Second.
A motion by Mr. Jenkins, second by Dr. Butler. Ready for question? Hearing none, all in favor of such motion, let it know by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed by the same sign. The next thing on the agenda is the approval of the minutes from the October 14, 2025 meeting.
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
A motion by Mr. Jenkins, second by Ms. Ferguson. Ready for question? Hearing none, all folk in favor of such motion, let it know by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed by the same sign? The motion is carried. Next thing on our agenda, old business, expansion of the legal non-conformance use of Deerfield Mine, portion of the tax map, number 02700020034. This time, Ms. Wagner, bring us up to date.
Good evening, Chairman.
Good evening, Lisa.
And Commission members. On August 12th, 2025, Jasper County Planning Commission reviewed an application submitted by CMEX requesting to expand their mining operations through the provisions outlined in Article 9:3.7, non-conforming uses. The site is located along Deerfield Road, which is Highway 321. It's on the west side of the highway. The property consists of a total of 38,354 acres and is owned by Oakley Club. However, only a portion of the property is leased to CMAX for mining operation. The existing mining operation was originally permitted through South Carolina Department of Environmental Services in 1974. CMAX, through its predecessor, Ranger Materials of Florida, entered into a mining lease agreement with Oakley in July 1988. In 2006, the mining operation expanded to the west side of Highway 321. In addition, the property was granted a variance. Sorry, my mic was off. Okay. In 2006, the mining operation expanded to the west side of Highway 321. In addition, the property was granted a variance by the Jasper County Board of Zoning Appeals to reduce the setbacks to 100 feet from all property lines, including from the right-of-way of Highway 321. The proposed expansion is immediately north of the existing mining area on the west side of Deerfield Road. Jasper County adopted a new zoning ordinance on November 13, 2007, which made the Deerfield mine a legal non-conforming use. The Deerfield mine was legally established and properly permitted through South Carolina DES and Jasper County prior to the adoption of the 2007 county zoning ordinance. In 2009, Jasper County issued a letter recognizing Deerfield sand mine as a legal non-conforming use. The nonconformity section of the Jasper County zoning ordinance allows for the expansion or alterations to the use which do not otherwise conform to all provisions of this ordinance, subject to Planning Commission review and approval. The purpose of this ordinance is to address certain, but not all, nonconformities created through the 2007 countywide zoning project. So the applicant submitted a request to expand their operations immediately north of their existing site. The current mining area is 223 acres. The proposed mining area is 217 acres. They do not propose any new structures, equipment, or additional truck traffic, as the existing operation will not change, just the location of the mine moving northwards. In accordance with Article 937, Number 2 of the Jasper County zoning ordinance, any modifications to a non-conforming use, including a change in use, the reestablishment of a non-conforming use, or any expansions or alterations to the use which do not otherwise conform to all provisions of this ordinance shall require approval by the Planning Commission. In determining whether a non-conforming use change, reestablishment, or expansion of the non-conforming use is appropriate, the Planning Commission may consider the following standards. Number 1, the proposed non-conforming use will be harmonious with the surrounding area. In this case, a mining operation has taken place in this immediate area for at least 37 years, so the expansion will not be out of harmony with the surrounding areas. It will not change the area at all. In addition, the surrounding area is very remote and surrounded by forested land. Number 2, the proposed non-conforming use will be a desirable addition to the physical pattern of the neighborhood. When looking at Jasper County's GIS map, this area is most likely one of the best areas in the county for a mining operation due to several factors. The site has direct access to a highway that is classified as a major thoroughfare, where the road is not inundated with heavy traffic as compared to other highways in the county. There are no residents that live in this area. The fact that the mining operation has been in existence for nearly 40 years and the mining operation does not have an impact on forested area that surrounds the site. The reclaimed lake is consistent with rural preservation, and that is on the east side of the highway. Number 3, any additional traffic resulting from the proposed non-conforming use will not be a burden on existing street. Although the footprint will expand operations, no additional traffic is expected, as the mining operation will not intensify and will be conducted the same as in the past, just in a new location. Number 4, no adverse environmental impacts, including noise, smoke, dust, fumes, vapors, gases, heat, odor, glare, vibration, etc., will be created by the proposed non-conforming use. CMEX's mining process does not create undue noise, smoke, dust, fumes, vapors, gases, heat, odor, glare, or vibration. The site is environmentally regulated by South Carolina Department of Environmental Services and the South Carolina Mining Council to eliminate adverse impacts. CMEX stated in their original letter that they have operated and will continue to operate in a manner that is compatible with the surrounding area, but protect air, soil, and water quality. They will not generate off-site noise impact, and they avoid light pollution. The mining operations occur in an area below the surrounding land surface and behind vegetative visual berms. The activity cannot be seen from the adjacent public road. The berms also effectively lessen noise impacts. Number 5, the outdoor storage or activities are limited and subject to review and may require increased setbacks and buffers. Outdoor stockpiles of mined products are screened and imperceptible from the public right-of-way. Although all activities are outdoors, the activities are subject to the utilization of setbacks and buffers. The expansion will continue to utilize and observe those setbacks and buffers. The proposed use is considered to be a benefit to the community and Jasper County as a whole by implementing goals of the Jasper County Comprehensive Plan. The Deerfield Mine is a benefit to the community and the county as a whole, implementing goals of the comprehensive plan by providing materials to improve road infrastructure, which is a recommendation in the 2018 comprehensive plan. The mine is a construction sand source for the local community. In accordance with the economy chapter goal of the comprehensive plan, it states develop businesses and attract public and private investments to grow jobs, decrease unemployment, and strengthen the local economy as a goal. And while this is a business opportunity, the comprehensive plan does not specifically speak to this situation from an economic perspective. However, CMEX pays county taxes for their operation, and they maintain a county business license each year. At the August 12, 2025 Planning Commission meeting, the members expressed concerns about site access and proximity to Highway 321, traffic congestion, and its impact to Highway 321, the integrity of Highway 321, and granting the limited approval. The applicant has addressed those concerns on page 2 and 3 of their submittal, which was in the black binder that you should have received in your packages. So on page 2, the member concerns states that the Planning Commission members expressed their concerns over site access and proximity to Highway 321 Deerfield Road. Their response was that Exhibit A renders a proposed secure access gate to be installed by January 1st, 2026. And if you don't mind, I'm just going to sit at my computer so I can bring up these exhibits, and we'll finish going through this. So here is the Exhibit A. Showing the security gate. Exhibit B is an aerial imagery with a visual depiction of existing distances between drive lanes and lake edge. So here's your drive lane. Your lake edge, well, this is interior here, and then the lake edge is here. Out here's 321. Exhibit C is a cross-section of the existing distances and elevations of the lake edge, the canal, and Deerfield Road, providing additional perspective on the separation of drive lanes and lake edge. You can see they're depicting this line here, this red line in the center, as the property boundary. The roadside canal is here. And this here, over here is Highway 321. So they're showing the distance. If you look here at the bottom, they're showing a total distance. See, here's the mine lake edge right here, the mining road, the interior road. Here's the vegetated berm and the buffer there. So they're showing you that it's 160 feet separation drive lane to the lake edge, and 100-foot separation with the natural vegetation and berm. That is from the property line inward 100 feet, and then there's a 75-foot separation with the DOT drainage ditch to the highway center line of 321 right here. The mine site is fully compliant with Mining Council of South Carolina, Chapter 89-140, whereby fencing along natural barriers such as swamps, rivers, and salt marsh may not be required, allowing security to be established by setbacks. Exhibit C, where the lake edge separation is achieved by a combination of berms, natural barriers, and setback distances, providing at least 160 feet of separation from Highway 321 to the drive lanes. Planning Commission members asked about the mine's operation impact of Deerfield Road, traffic congestion. This is Exhibit D. This is a transportation analysis that was provided by Thomas and Hutton. And I noticed they have a representative here with them. Their legal counsel's here, Lamar Mercer from Thomas and Hutton, Ms. Nicole Scott and Mary Saheed is legal counsel. Mr. Jimenez is here, and maybe they can speak to this a little bit more, but I'll just go over their response. The site traffic constitutes approximately 3.3% of overall traffic on Highway 321. Based upon average growth rate projections, Deerfield Road has approximately 71 years of capacity remaining, well in excess of mine life. Members asked about the effect of mining operations on Deerfield Road, the pavement integrity. Exhibit D clarifies that dewatering does not occur at this site. Water levels in the vicinity of the road pavement are controlled, influenced by the roadway ditch drainage system, not the lake water surface elevation. And as far as their response to the members asking about granting a limited approval, the mining operations require substantial financial investments for heavy machinery, processing equipment, and mitigation. These investments do not provide justifiable returns in periods shorter than 10 years. Lake excavation and sand processing require continuous operation for maximum efficiency. Periods of inactivity lead to product cost escalation that may make material unmarketable. State and federal permit approvals assume continuous operations. Lapses in operations trigger closure requirements under these permits. CMEX is willing to furnish Jasper County a copy of its annual mine inspections, assuring compliance with state law. CMEX is also willing to undertake a renewed traffic study accounting for future growth and traffic capacity in 2030. That concludes my report. Again, I see CMEX has a lot of people here.
Yes, if they representatives would like to come and address the Plan Commission, you can do so at this time.
Hello, members of the commission. How are y'all?
Doing great.
How are you today?
I'm doing well. I'm here in my capacity as a state senator for this region, not as an attorney. And the reason is this. I've been working very closely with the DOT, Jasper County, City of Hardeeville, other local governments over the last several months, actually the last couple of years, to try to get the plans finalized for I-95 improvements and to get that off the ground and to expedite that. And also, more specifically, I've been working on Exit 3 to try to make up the difference between the monies that we've secured through Jasper County, the State Infrastructure Bank, DOT, and the project costs that they've come in through bidding. And what we're finding increasingly is that all these bids are coming in much higher than was anticipated because of the massive need for fill, for sand. I mean, in the case of Exit 3, it's about $80 million over budget, primarily because of that. And as a result, you see mines going up around the region, sometimes, in my opinion, in environmentally inappropriate places or places that are not advantageous. And so I always try to balance the need for economic development and improving infrastructure with environmental needs and the needs of the community. And so when I saw something like this with CMEX that's already been in existence for 37 years, in compliance with state regulations for that long a time, and the tract that they're seeking to expand is contemporaneous or contiguous with the existing site, it seems to me that I wanted to speak out in favor, because if something like this is not approved, then I feel like there's going to be mines put into less appropriate areas. And so I'll defer to you in regard to the procedures and the mechanics. It's my understanding that it is a legal non-conforming use. It's not a conforming use. It's not in the rural extraction district. I understand that. But my understanding, just a brief understanding after having talked with the applicant and the applicant's counsel, is that this commission has plenary authority. This commission has authority to allow the expansion of an existing legal non-conforming use under Appendix 9.3.7 if certain conditions are met. And the reason I'm speaking in favor is in looking at those conditions and listening to the report by staff, I believe those conditions are met here. And quite frankly, I'd rather see something like this expand in an appropriate place than put more pressure on other areas of the county or nearby counties that I think are less appropriate. So that's the reason for me being here, Mr. Chairman.
Well, thank you very much.
Thank you. Happy to answer any questions. If not, I'll take my seat.
Anyone have any questions? Anyone, commissioners?
I don't.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Chairman, there is one more thing I just want to cover in the staff report. The staff recommendation. Staff recommends that the approval to allow the Deerfield mine expand their site 217 acres immediately north of the existing mining operation on the west side of Deerfield Road, with the condition that the applicant enter into a development agreement with county council to address standards such as height, noise, and as you know, the Highway 321 has been improved recently, and it appears to be in very good condition. I know Thomas and Hutton provided a report that states that, but part of that development agreement would set up just an escrow account that if the road were to be messed up, it could be, we could go to the state and say we have the funds to repair it. So that concludes my report. And I see Ms. Scott made her way to the front.
Mr. Chairman, members of the commission, thank you for hearing us this afternoon. We had planned to have Lamar Mercer of Thomas and Hutton come up and walk through his report on the roads. I asked for your guidance on that. The report is in your packet, or he's here. He can walk through the report, or he can answer questions. But after that, that would conclude the applicant's presentation, but we do have members of the public that would like to speak during public comment.
So anyone, you have any questions?
I don't. I mean, I think it would be interesting to hear what he has to say, because that was one of the concerns you brought up.
Yeah.
Yep.
Had to do with the road.
He's here, ready, willing, and able.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chairman, members of the Planning Commission. Thank you for allowing us to be before you today. I understand you've had already a long morning of training, so I won't go in a lot of detail on this. I'll just try to answer any questions you have. But for my understanding of the prior meeting, there were questions raised about the amount of, basically the amount of truck traffic that will utilize the roadway system. And we try to go through, we pull data from South Carolina's published website. They have yearly data. They track average daily traffic demand or traffic utilization. Currently, the roadway has, and forgive me, I have to wear my glasses, is at about 24% of total capacity. Approximately 966 trucks or vehicles beyond cars utilize the roadways. So that kind of captures kind of a big picture of like overall of like different heavier vehicles. So that's 20, and then we keep using the same numbers, but it just kind of, the math just kind of works out. So it's about 21% of the total amount of traffic utilizing the roadway. Has been stated here a couple different times, the activities for the mine will continue to operate. There will be no increase in additional in trucks. So there's between 100 and 150 trucks that utilize the roadway a day. So Using the math, you double that for a trip, you know, one out, one in. That's probably a little bit conservative, and we went average. You're about 5% total of the overall traffic for the roadway is CMEX's contribution to that. And as the growth rate continues, which is about an average, SCDOT uses about 2% annual average, 1 to 3, so we just averaged it out. You can see in here it's about 71 years capacity, but as that growth rate continues, that percentage will just shrink more and more. Related to the water, I not being here the first meeting, I watched the meeting, tried to understand what the concerns were. I think there was some concern about dewatering, which has been clarified. That does not, the mine does not operate that way. It's dredging, so there's really no fluctuation of water, but the roadway ditch system is higher than the lake system because it's such a distance away, and it does not affect the operation of the roadway whatsoever. So I'd be happy to try to answer any questions you may have.
Mr. J?
I think my question is, Lisa, when they was before us before, weren't there a gentleman, a property owner, had an issue with a road or something?
I'm sorry, say that again.
When they were here before us, weren't there a property owner said he didn't have any objection to the project, but his piece of road or something that went, was that,
I think
was
that
that,
was
was
Rod
that,
Catterton,
was that,
Right.
Catterton, I think he
Yeah.
owns the property.
And his property is to the northwest.
but I think he had an issue with with the road.
He said he just wanted the interior mining road, not to, he wanted away from his property. I thought I opened that here,
Yeah,
right there.
it's-
Area now.
I just want to make sure, the citizen, his.
It's road.
We actually, not me personally, but a member of CMEX spoke with that gentleman after the meeting, the last meeting. He can address what they discussed about, if that would be helpful.
Good.
Yeah, and it was this property.
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure, since he owned property out there, that his concern was addressed.
Good afternoon, members of the commission. My name is Rafael Jimenez. I'm the Director of Land Resources for CEMEX. The gentleman is a neighbor to the property. His concern was related to the forestry and the silviculture that goes on the property. As you know, the overall property is owned by the Okatee Club, and they do harvest timber, and those concerns were specifically related to the trucks that were carrying timber. They're unrelated to CEMEX.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Lisa.
But he did express something about access to his property regarding a road, didn't he?
Yeah.
But I think
He
what
wanted to
he's
make
saying
sure it
is
wasn't gonna be-
about the mining road, it was about the logging road,
Yeah,
the
So
logging
he
road.
would still have access to his property?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
okay. Thank you. Thank you, Lisa. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Yes, Ms. Ferguson?
Yeah, I think my questions may have been addressed. One was any change in groundwater flow,
No, ma'am.
increased runoff into ditches,
No, ma'am.
any alteration in the drainage around the highway,
No, ma'am.
erosion of the roadside ditches.
No, ma'am. Not.
Those were my concerns.
Dr. Boss?
Somewhat along those same lines, I think my question is, like you say, that operation's been there ever since I was here. And I'm concerned about the integrity of the road being
Sure.
affected with the new projects that's coming along. The initial project some time ago, and you said we had a setback at one time and was decreased down to 100 feet from what? From 1,000 feet?
From all property lines, all surrounding property lines.
Okay, so there is no possible effect that this project is gonna have on the integrity of 321?
Well, I mean, every vehicle has an
Well,
impact
not
to it, right?
necessarily vehicles, I'm talking.
Trucks.
maybe this is not your
The
area. I'm
roadway,
talking about-
the roadway,
about
just by a matter of,
Based on the excavations and the water,
oh, no, sir. No,
no erosion.
No, sir.
running
No,
through the
it
road,
is
anything
very
like
far,
that.
it's very far removed. Matter of fact, I rode back through there again this morning. One thing, and it's a great graphic, and it will be true, but there's another thing you can take consideration. There's a big power line and an easement through that also to create separation to take into account. So no, it's far enough removed, it will not have an effect on the durability of the roadway or any
You're not
erosion.
gonna wake up one day and a third of 321.
No, sir. No, sir.
Okay,
No.
that's all I have, Mr. Pinckney.
My concern is probably not one that should be addressed to you, and I think we mentioned this last time. It has to do with the traffic leaving that site and going to Interstate 95. Because while this is a very remote area, the road of, that's closest will probably be Puresburg Road. And it goes through a lot of little, small rural communities on that road. And I don't know if there is any way that this company can do anything to keep these trucks out of that community. But there are a lot of people with a lot of power that are interested in getting this project moved forward, and I'm very happy to see that happen. I'm not happy to see all of these trucks that will destroy a very old community by filtering what 126 trucks primarily going through to Interstate 95.
Right.
And I know that's not something that you
No.
can address, but I'd like everybody here that has an interest in that to realize that this company is leading to what I perceive to be the destruction of a small community that's been in the country for years, and now the city's coming to the country. And anything that you guys can do to protect our small rural communities would be appreciated.
And I will have to defer to Mr. Jimenez to
I
answer that
understand.
completely. And I know you and I have had
I
during
know.
encounters with Exit 3 and Puresburg Road development. So I think there's certainly going to be a period of time, I don't believe anybody's really going to go in that direction because it'll be under construction. So it'd be a deterrence, really, for trucks to go in that direction.
I hope so, but,
I-
it will come to an end. And, Highway 321 and Puresburg Road
Right.
do intersect. Again, when these trucks are moving through, loaded with sand, coming through a little small country road that goes between two cemeteries, it's unfortunate
I-
that nobody's thinking about that or even concerned about it now. Anyway,
I agree.
thank you.
You need, sorry.
Yes, they addressed my concern, because I brought the question up. Along that stretch of 321, previous to they resurfaced it, it was about a 6 to 8 inch drop on one side of the road along where the mine was. But she said in the development agreement, if that problem arises again, money would be set aside that they could fix it, and it wouldn't take 5 years or 6 years like it did in the previous
Right.
to get it repaired.
Well, and certainly don't want to speak for DOT, and I was through there this morning, and I saw some freshening up of the shoulders. As you well know, the road was resurfaced relatively recently, so
Yeah.
I just would defer to the fact that I don't know that I would get into DOT's realm of maintenance responsibilities. That's just, I just want to make a point of that, right? And I think it's just a point of them
They
needing.
had a professional, when that came up before, because I live on 321.
Yes, sir.
And I was questioning why that road had dropped. And he said, well, you can't see on such a short period of time of the water erosion, but the water erosion over time, because it's a lot of log trucks that can travel the main road.
Yes, sir.
But it was just about a mile section there along where the mine was. It was dropped at least 6 or 8 inches on that side. They resurfaced it, tried to build it up. About 6 or 8 months later, it had been down again. I'm talking facts, because I
Sure.
travel it on a daily basis. So she said in the development agreement, they will look at that and make sure that's not a problem that the citizens of this county have to live through for another 5 or 6 years.
Okay.
Any other questions from any of the commissioners?
Well, I just want to make a comment that, we've been dealing with mines in this county for a while. And with all the issues that are going on that we're talking about, this is probably one of the better places for a mine than any place else that I can think of, simply because of the disparity in the population and residents and things like that. So I definitely like this better than the last one we had down in Gillisonville area.
Yeah.
So, and again, if you have something like this, like the first person spoke said, if you can have this, then you won't have so many of these popping up probably all over the county.
That's correct.
You know, so if you
I mean-
got one place you can get it, you get your stuff there, and you don't have 20 of them popping up to make up the difference.
That's exactly correct, and I'm sure you know that, right? It provides an important source of a particular, specific kind of aggregate that's used in concrete. I didn't even know this morning. The gentleman back here can elaborate on some more, but like brick pavers, there's so many different things, septic systems that every residents in the county use. So there's a lot of different uses that only this particular area can provide. So.
That's all I had, Mr. Baker.
Yeah, any other questions or comments?
Mr. Chairman, I'll offer a motion if you're ready, if there's no other comment.
Didn't realize we were ready for a motion. I do have a question, and not for this gentleman, but, and maybe for Lisa. And we talked about this before, but I apologize, I don't remember the conversation. After these folks are done with their business on this site, it goes back to Oakity. Who's responsible for ensuring the safety of the public at this location after they're done? And do we have an agreement with the owner of the property to ensure that that is taken care of?
So they will be required to file a reclamation plan with South Carolina Department of Environmental Services. They'll do their own inspections. They'll also go through a minor, maybe, I guess really a minor or major site plan application with Jasper County for the expansion and get a county permit. And we will, we will have responsibility there. If they were to enter into a development agreement, then there would be an agreement in place with the business owner slash, property owner. Is probably more business focused on how this operation would run.
So, let me rephrase what I heard. So county council in their development agreement can stipulate that certain safety or safeguards will be put in there to
Yes.
protect the public?
Yes.
Okay. And is that something we need to ask for, or that will be done automatically?
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I just don't want to create, great question, but the reclamation requirement of the South Carolina Mining Act does look at that aspect of safety very strongly. So there will be a reclamation plan. You have to have proper slopes. If there's any fencing required, right, it will call for that at that time.
And I meant to say that's something we would ask for in that development agreement as well, which can be the same exact.
I mean, it can, but again, there would be a level of
Yes.
redundancy if you start
Yeah.
getting into too much of that.
Okay, well, that was my concern, that there would be safety there.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Keep kids
There's a
out.
priority. There's a whole section devoted to that in the mining act.
Okay. all
Yes,
right.
ma'am.
Thank you very much.
One more question in regard to that. I know this is legally non-conforming, but the property on the east side, has that been reclaimed or reclamation has been affected on that property?
That has been reclaimed. That's what they reported at the August meeting.
Okay,
That's
I was not
totally,
here.
oh, you weren't here, were you?
No, it wasn't.
Yes, that's been reclaimed. It's totally finished. They are not operating over there on the east
So
side.
everything is good. They did a great job over there.
Yes.
Is that where you
Lisa?
saw the kids?
Yes,
playing?
sir.
Okay.
Looks good to me. It's got a really, and that just goes to show the difference of how things have evolved and, how the county and the state has different requirements. Back when the east side was because they were digging over there really wasn't any buffers. You don't see the berms, but the vegetation's growing in real well there now. It's becoming a natural vegetation out by the highway to provide that screening. But nowadays, DES requires that berm that you see on the west side. So,
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Any other questions or comments? I'm ready to entertain a motion.
Chairman Pinckney and Commissioner Jenkins offer motion that we accept this,
sorry.
Go ahead. Oh, that's fine.
But I mean, that's my discretion, if we can move on, we won't need that.
Mr. Chairman?
Okay. Well,
Go ahead.
Yeah. Mr. Chairman, Commissioner Jenkins offer a motion that we accept the staff recommendation to approve C-Max Construction Material Florida LLC, portion TMS number 027-00002-02034, with the caveat that they accept the recommendation from our commission over there that they work with DOT and address some of this truck traffic on 321.
Could you repeat that motion for me?
The development agreement has to be.
Yeah, okay.
Well, I think instead of DOT, it's the development
I meant
agreement where we
development
can
agreement, yeah.
address
Yeah.
the standards or concerns.
You've
So
heard the
if-
motion, do I hear a second?
I'm not sure if I'm clear on the motion, but
Well,
You'd like to restate it?
okay, Mr. Chairman, I'm Commissioner Jenkins. I offer a motion that we accept staff recommendation to approve CMX Construction Material Florida LLC, tax map number, portion of TMS number 027-0002034. With the caveat, with the development agreement that they could work, try to alleviate some of the traffic on 321 from the trucks. That was you wanted, right? Yeah.
No?
not on 321, but through the rural. through the
I'm
community.
sorry.
Yeah,
You know, I'm like,
321 to the
I was a
rural
little bit
community.
lost.
Yeah.
No, I was talking, I don't know that we can require them to do that, honestly, because I don't know that they can control the traffic once it leaves
But I
their
mean, they
facility.
could just work and,
Oh,
yeah, through the
okay.
rural community, that's it, yeah.
I mean, that would be wonderful if they would take on that
I
initiative.
thought that's what I heard you say.
Yeah, I was interested in, I wanted to
Okay.
make it clear that that's a concern of mine.
Okay,
I don't know how you can do that.
I think,
Thank you, Mr. Jenkins.
yes, ma'am, you're welcome.
so staff is just recommending the development agreement be approved by council. And it will address, I think, if the road gets
Right,
torn up in the
right.
future and some other standards as far as height, noise,
He
things
was
like that.
referring to my concern
Okay.
about the traffic through Purisburg.
Okay. Oh,
That's what
okay.
That's what he was attempting to put into this motion.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, I don't
know
think
that
we
I
can regulate that.
Okay, thank you.
But thank you. That was nice of you. Yeah.
Previous question, do I hear a second on the motion?
Did you not feel good about it? Did you get it?
Yes, I
You
did.
did, okay.
Thank you.
I'm going to second that motion.
Thank you.
Motion has been made by Mr. Jenkins that we give a favorable recommendation to staff. Recommendation to approve, second by Dr. Buckler. Ready for question?
Not ready. Are we saying that we're just gonna accept the staff's recommendation? Is that what we're saying here?
Well, the
Staff recommend that we approve.
recommends approval of the expansion of the nonconformities, with the condition that a development agreement be entered into with the county council, which will address the concerns that we've spoken about, the condition of the road in the future. We will address other standards such as height, noise, and other things that we have in there.
I have one question. Were there other people who wanted to?
Well, I was gonna ask that anybody that's here to speak should be given opportunity to speak before we
They're
vote.
here.
Didn't you say
If there was
somebody
anyone
wanted to
else who
speak?
wanted to speak?
But, see, I mean, that's,
Hold on.
this is not a public hearing. I give them a chance for their professional people to come up and present their product. So they have done that. If everybody from the public speak, we'd be addressed today. They've given us all the information. It's up to us to make the decision. Any other questions? All in favor of such motion, let it know by show of hand.
Thank you.
It's carried. Thank you all very much.
Thank you very much, members of the commission.
Yeah.
This was for this? Yeah. Was for this one we just voted?
They must have shut down the whole operation, brought everybody.
What I'm thinking,
Those are the improvements on the job.
Lisa, it would not hurt my feelings if we were to ask the county council to consider, you know, how they might, I mean,
No, we get that finished.
I mean, I don't
So
think,
they have sand at that location that you won't find at a lot of other places, that fine sand. And, they are DOT approved. So
Right,
a lot of
right.
that's gonna go straight
oh,
out.
well, I mean, they clearly brought all their big guns in here today.
Yeah, I just, senator was coming.
I mean, he should be ashamed.
And he won't.
He made a good point,
Yeah, and
Well, I don't see the
Mr. Andy's
difference.
but I want to let him know that did not,
Are we on?
that did not switch me one bit.
yes.
Well,
Yeah, we're on the all.
I don't see any difference in the difference between this one and the one that was on the Hampton County line that everybody wanted. It was in a totally remote area, just like this is. There are people right through the woods, yet this is okay, but that one wasn't. I don't get that.
What happened to the one we got?
We turned it down.
All right, we're gonna get to the next thing on our agenda.
Won't y'all have your mic?
Oh, sorry.
New business, zoning map amendment, roof preservation tax map number 03900090004.
Alrighty, so this is a zoning map amendment, request to have a property labeled as tax map number 03900090004 as rural preservation. The property is currently zoned as residential and is located off Nelson's Court, which is off Levy Road. There's currently a house and a pond on the property. The applicant would like to rezone the property for the purpose of establishing a 6-lot RV park, which would be conditional use according to Article 6 of the use regulations, and the conditional use regulations as listed in Article 11, Section 7, subsection 27. According to the 2018 Jasper County Comprehensive Plan, the future land use map identifies this area as rural transition, which are areas located in southern Jasper County. These areas will likely be under pressure to develop within the foreseeable future. The characteristics of these developments should be both small-scale commercial and office development, diverse types of housing, and mixed-use / small-scale multifamily that keep the scale and the character of that area. The adjacent parcels along Nelson Court are primarily zoned residential, with the exception of one property that is zoned rural preservation. And as you can see on the zoning map that's provided to you in your packets, there's another parcel that butts up to the rear of the property, which is also rural preservation. The adjacent land uses are residential, and the subject property is accessed by Nelson's Court, which is a 2-lane county-maintained local road that is paved asphalt. The road classification, according to the SCDOT, is urban local. If you guys have any questions, we have to answer them.
Dr. Buckner?
Could we get the map up with the zoning? I know that's what you're working on, but this isn't it, is it? No,
I don't believe so.
that's 321. Yeah.
No worries. Yep,
Okay.
that's it.
And so he wants to go from residential to rural preservation, which would allow him,
Conditionally, yes, ma'am.
all of this rural preservation is wooded. There are no structures there at all?
I believe, if you want to pull up the Q, probably just double check. That's the one I'm looking at. I believe it is all just,
Yeah, it did not appear to have any structures on it or be developed in any way.
now there might be one at the very bottom though, that butts
Yeah,
up.
I'm gonna go there real quick.
Yeah. Because actually, like you said, there might be one in the very bottom of that parcel.
My concern with allowing this, when I initially read it, was that this is a residential setting. And then I pulled up the map and looked up and down Nelson Court, and at the one end of Nelson Court is a huge junkyard. And on the other end of Nelson Court is another huge junkyard. And I called Lisa because I was conflicted about this. And apparently the one at the end of the roadway is I say legal, I don't know if they are conforming to the current standards for a junkyard, but they have a business license. The other one, I don't know. Which, you know, I don't know, Lisa, I'm sorry.
This property that's behind Mr. Hubbard's property.
Uh-huh.
All of this is just wood, but there are I think, 2 mobile homes according to the tax records right here out on Levy Road. So there's that one. I only see one address point, but it was showing 2 mobile homes there on the tax record. So anyhow, there's something here.
Yeah,
And
it looks
then
like there
the one
might be
you're
2.
talking about
Yeah, right there at the end of the road.
is over here on Levy Road.
And it kind of extends over to the other 2 lots, I don't know. And there's, I mean, he can't do that without a change in zoning, right, hon? Is that right?
You're good.
He'll have to have some type of plan to bring to us,
Yeah, he'll have to fill out a site plan. Yes, ma'am.
a site plan,
Yes, ma'am.
if we change the zoning.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah, he would still have to conform to a site plan. Per Article 3, correct?
What is the staff recommending for this?
Ms. Lisa, you want to give that one?
Staff did not put a recommendation because we kind of wanted to put that on y'all as a group.
Well, it does say,
Right. So we look at the comprehensive plan, and Hunter read you the comprehensive plan. This area is under development pressure. It's not in the. So, yes, it is in Hardyville's road boundary, but on our comprehensive plan, it is not identified as such. And
wait a minute, say that again.
And rural preservation's not an upzoning, it's a downzoning. So when you look at the compatibility, when you look at Nelson's Court Road, Nelson's Court, everything on there is residential. But at the rear of the property, you do have rural preservation. And at the end of Nelson's Court, or just a couple lots over, you have some rural preservation. People in this county that wanna do RV parks, they have just been doing RV parks without coming in and following the rules. You can see when looking at this aerial map, this person
It
is trying to
disappeared.
get the approval first. I don't know what's going on, we didn't have no problems this morning.
I think it's a miracle that somebody came in and tried to follow the rules. I mean,
They're
knowing,
saying they only want 6 lots. You can see that the yard itself's not gonna allow for a whole bunch of stuff.
Especially now with that pond, as you can see on the property already.
there are 2 ponds on that property, aren't there?
Yeah. and
Oh, you are right.
they
Yep, there's a pond in the back as well.
site plan approval.
Maybe not, maybe I looked at it wrong.
I believe so.
And you don't even know if he can meet those criteria.
I think you could go either way on this one as far as approval or not approving, and it's
Can
a
you-
hard call to make. I mean,
Can you move it back to the,
yes.
property.
So I thought that y'all deciding as a board would be kind of better than staff, but, this is the property right here.
Can you zoom in a little bit, Miss Lisa?
There's a nice house on the property, you go
There are two ponds
Yeah,
on
there are
there.
two. There's one on the backside as well. Yes,
Yeah.
ma'am.
Yeah, and I'm sorry, I'll go back there, but this is, the tax record with the assessor's office. And then just to go back to the map. I'm just zooming out for a minute because when I go put on the zoning layer, so you have, residential all on this Nelson's Court.
Well-
Behind it is this rural preservation, and this here's still Nelson's Court, but you're pretty much to the end of Nelson's Court. Well, not quite. At the end, okay, so here you go, at the end you've got rural preservation, and then right here you've got rural preservation.
You said it's down zoning. What does that mean exactly?
That's as much lower in rural preservation.
But what does that mean, that it's lower? I mean, what,
One house per 2 acre.
hmm? Oh, the number of houses you can put on. Okay, thank you,
Yeah,
sir.
one house per
Well-
acre.
Yeah. Residential be a half acre, so one house. Right now, it's only currently one house per half acre.
But residential doesn't allow RV parks
Yes.
and rural preservation.
Yeah, you got residential all around this particular piece of property, and you wanna come in and put RVs, how many RV, 6?
Saying six.
6.
In there, it seems like it's, with all the residential all the way around it, it seems like it seems like a no-brainer that you wouldn't wanna change that. I mean, it seems like that.
Yeah, the only parcel that is rural preservation, as you can see, is the one on the backside. But as you mentioned, everything else around it is marked as residential.
It's not spot zoning, is it? No?
Technically not, because of that back portion
Back portion.
is rural
Touches
preservation.
rural preservation.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you got residents all around it, you got RV park here, which is sort of like transition, I guess. I don't think it's a fit. And that's probably why you didn't call it. And, you mentioned the other folks are not coming in with RV parks. I was driving the other day and I saw the one down in Tillman,
This
and
one,
it seemed just to be a big sprawl.
you talking about on 336?
Yeah,
They actually did come in and they went through the site plan approval and they got a permit, and it looks very nice up in there. But they took advantage of their permit and they expanded beyond what it was permitted for. We are working now to try and get that corrected, because if not, if we don't get it corrected, he's gonna have to notify the people to move out, so.
Are these permanent RVs? They live in them?
You know, I don't know if they live there for a week or if they live there for a month, but there's a lot of people who do come there. I think they're workers, whether they come. Again,
Isn't
I
that
don't know.
different? Isn't that more like what do you call it? The thing on Church Road, motorhome park, whatever you call it, where you put your mobile home. It's certainly not an RV park. Those people
Detached.
come in
Well,
for,
out here's an RV park. It is RVs, it's not.
well, I know that's what they're living in, but when you live in it for an extended
Right,
period of
right.
time, it's no longer used as a recreational
From what
vehicle.
I
It's a home.
understand, they're workers who don't live here, who are utilizing that, whether they go home on the weekends, I don't know. Do they stay for a month? I'm not exactly sure.
Maybe that's something we should consider in our ordinance. That you fall into a different category when these people are long-term residents. RVs should be temporary, yes. There's one in Hardyville.
and not only that, you have an RV park in a residential community. That's the way I'm looking at this.
Yeah, I agree. I looked
Well,
at it that way, that's why I said I was really torn, you could go both ways on that, you know?
I'll tell you, I can't get past the junkyards. I mean, really, I mean, you should pull it up and look at it. I mean, an RV park would probably improve the neighborhood, if you want my opinion. It's terrible. They must
Okay.
have 100 or 150 cars in their yards.
Okay,
I think
But-
that's a different issue. I think you should get rid of the junkyards and not add to the problem.
I agree with that, by the way.
Ms. Ferguson.
No, I was just saying that there's some environmental benefits to it. You can't bring a large subdivision into that zoning area. The traffic is lower, but other than that, I mean, the impact to the current residents may not equal out the environmental benefits.
Mr. Jenkins.
Lisa, what the ordinance say, how many RV you can have before it become a RV park?
Well, if you have, I don't think the ordinance really classifies, you can either have an RV park that's made up of 1, 2, 3, 10, 15, 20, you know. What our ordinance states is you cannot have electricity to an RV park, to an RV unless you, have developed and established an RV park.
Oh.
You can store an RV in your yard if you have an RV.
That makes a difference.
But they're already living there, so they're already.
But they're in violation if they hadn't met these requirements.
They're not.
Saying if
I'm sorry.
Go ahead. Make this simple for us. Explain, the zoning is what they requested.
That's true.
All right,
That's
but
very
explain
true.
what the guidelines
Yeah.
they have to meet.
So
in
when
our-
we look at a
Right.
zoning map amendment, we're really looking at what is allowed there. If
Right.
you're gonna change it to rule preservation, here's all the things that can take place.
Take place.
It doesn't have to be an RV park. If it gets changed to rule preservation and they decide that the county is requiring too much for the RV park, they might decide to use it in another way. Rule preservation is gonna be 1 house per 1 acre versus residential is 1 house per half acre. Rule preservation will allow mobile homes and single-family residence, just like residential does, but, you think of rule preservation as being more agricultural type. You can, grow crops and have farms and have animals. That's the biggest difference.
so we're talking about RVs with chickens and.
Well, we already got that in the county, plenty of that.
I have the
Okay,
conditional uses right here too.
She will explain. Any other further discussion?
No.
I will say to you, sir, because you're our leader, what Lisa said when she opened this conversation was people are doing this irregardless of the rules. And unfortunately, just like that guy in Tillman she talked about, they go ahead and do what they want to do, and there is no penalty for that. So if this guy had gone ahead and put up his 6 RVs, I'm not sure what, if anything, he would have been penalized for. And that's the problem we have here, is that people do whatever they want to in Jasper
Yeah, my point
County.
here is when we did take a look at this, he's not doing that. He's trying to get permission first. Now, I did call him and I said, hey, do you realize what all's involved in a site plan? Because now we're talking about hiring an engineer. So it is a lot of work for 6 lots. I've explained it to him and he was okay with that.
These people are making a lot of money off renting spaces for RVs. There's a lot of money in it, a lot of cash money. But I agree with what Dr. Bostic said. Unfortunately, you know, the people that get hit are the people who are willing to follow the rules, in my opinion.
Mr. Chairman, if I'm in order, my mind go back to about 6 months ago. I think it was Chairman Pinckney. We were talking about RV in this county. We were talking about these plantation that has a lot of homes, but those hunters got about 15, 20 RB Park sets up in his plantation, and I met there a lot of nice home in his plantation, but these hunters got these little about 15 or 20 of them, and I don't.
Now, we do allow some extra dwelling units on large hunting camps and all, but, as far as I know, for the most part, we've actually permitted a couple of mobile homes out at Green Swamp off of, Sand Hills Road, but.
Yeah, I remember we had this discussion before, so I don't.
So, we had asked staff, I know it's not required, the signs have been put up at a zoning change had been requested.
We did post a red sign on the property, yes, sir, saying the zoning application with our phone number.
Nobody, none of the neighbors,
And we sent them the agenda, the applicant, but I don't know if they checked their email. We did it by email, and I actually meant to pick up the phone and call them and say the meeting's at 2 o'clock, and there's just been so much going on.
I mean, with the adjacent landowners.
Yeah, so there will be a public hearing. We have posted the property with the red sign. We haven't gotten any calls. And we did put that sign out at least, that's been 2 weeks at least.
It's been a while.
This is for Jimmy's property?
Yes.
As in our educational process this morning, it was mentioned that interested party, a party that has an interest, need to be contacted by mail. Is that what, does this reflect upon this that we just covered this morning in our educational process? Where the interested parties, which are these neighbors, have to be contacted by mail?
So they will be.
They will be.
Through the public hearing. When
I
we've
see.
identified the public hearing, they'll.
So that didn't apply to us this morning, that applied to the county council.
County council.
Yeah, and the council could delegate public hearings to planning commission. Our county council in the past has decided not to do that. So,
You said they decided not to do that?
yes, they, years ago, which would be a different council, when asked if they wanted to delegate the public hearings to y'all, they wanted to have the public hearings there. But, I will say during the public hearing process, we go out and put another sign out. It gives you the time and the date of the meeting. So there's more information as when this public hearing is taking place, and everybody gets a letter in the mail. State law says adjacent properties have to be notified, but we adopted in our zoning ordinance of everybody within 500 feet. I think y'all know from the past, when we have PDDs or anything that we think would be, that would cause a problem in the community, we go 1,000 feet, 1,500 feet, if that's what we need to do, usually for mining operations and PDDs.
If we decline to support this, do they still go through the public hearing?
Yes, yes.
Even though, because they could approve it?
Unless the council turns it down at first reading.
Oh, okay.
If they turn it, because we always set our, public hearing up for second reading. We just need that little bit of time because it's a 15-day notice.
Mhm.
So we schedule the public hearing, and from there we we schedule the first reading, and from there we go on to do the public hearing notice.
Will they get their money back for this
Now,
application? Will they get their $300 back?
no.
But it just seems that kind of backwards that we approve the zoning and then there's a public hearing. Seems
Well,
like
we're not approving the zoning. We're recommending that the council approve it.
based on our recommendation, it could
Right.
be approved.
But they don't have to approve it.
Right, but I'm just saying, it seems like the public hearing should be held first, and then our.
You make a decision, yeah.
Because we'll have the public input.
But the elected body wants to have.
Do we still have a quorum? We
they
do?
wanna receive-
Yeah, we still have
We
quorum.
do?
Half plus one.
Oh. Well,
So it's really.
Yeah,
we should
still have one.
Planning commission
Four.
is to look at
Four
we
is
only
the
had to have 4.
land plan, your comprehensive plan, your future land use map, and, that is our job as planners, that's your job as planning commission. Unfortunately, when it gets to council, sometimes things get a little more political, and they're not really always just looking at that, even if they should be. And sometimes they are influenced by public hearing and public comments. And I don't know how else to put that, but.
Well, we all are influenced by things. I mean, we just are. I mean, we're human, so.
I agree. And, you know, I have to explain to people all the time, it's my job, because people wonder, why did you allow them to apply for this? I'm the vehicle that gets their application to you and then to the council. And it's my job to make sure that the applicant has due process, but also that the community gets to be heard. So it's a
So,
balance.
what is the problem with downzoning? I mean, is that not in compliance with our comprehensive plan? What is the reason we would not do that?
So rural preservation and residential do go together, they support one another. A rural preservation is just for larger properties, that's how we started out with it in 2007. Over the years, for larger properties, you know, they were 25 acres and greater for rural preservation. And over the years, as some of the larger landowners wanted to cut out an acre for this child, an acre for this one, and, you know, wanted to set up some properties for their grandchildren, we have a lot of just 1 acre properties now, and some are 5 acre properties that are now rural preservation. In this case, this property is 5 acres.
Right.
So, and although we're not looking at the RV park as we are the rezoning, but one of the conditions for the RV park is you have to have at least 5 acres. If you have less than 5 acres, you don't even meet the first condition. So, but that's the difference. RP was designated for
Larger piece of property.
But it
Okay.
also restricts what goes around it. So there could be no mining, there could be no big developments around you, so it's sort of still residential, but just a bigger area. Is that correct?
It's a good way of putting it.
All right. Any other questions or comments? I'm ready to entertain a motion. Going once, going twice, third time.
What does that mean?
That it failed. Motion.
It will go to county council without a recommendation. And county council will have to do the hard work.
I'm all for that.
Since they won't
Well, you
delegate
know,
The
Since
decision
we
will
finished
be
with this,
on
of
them,
course, the
and
motion
they'll
is
get
something.
to hear from the public, so.
Okay, since this is going to county council without a motion, I would like to commend the individuals for trying to do it the right way. My only problem with it is that it is surrounded by residential areas. That's it.
I agree with that too. I really, really,
I
really,
struggled with that
heart of
too. I
hearts.
looked at that and thought.
And
so
I
too.
would also encourage the department to make a referral to the code enforcement officer to get these people's community cleaned up. They should not have to live with that in their community.
Believe it or not, I told you that the one down Nelson's Court was approved years ago.
Probably when it was the
by
country.
if you count back to 3 of my predecessors. I didn't know that. I wrote her up.
Well,
And
there was one within,
she brought me the permit. And I was like, you gotta be joking. But the one across the street, I don't know anything about.
but the other thing is, there should be DHEC compliance with these kinds of places because these old cars leak fluids in. And if these people are on wells, that can be such a dangerous thing. So DHEC needs to be notified to follow up on this, for the protection of the people that live there.
Okay.
Not to mention mosquitoes.
No. We're good. No, we're fine. Alrighty.
The next thing on our agenda is a zoning map amendment, industrial development, tax map number 0800003-0044 and 080-0003-121.
Perfect. All right, so this is a zoning map amendment request. Get all my stuff in order, there we go. All right, this is a zoning map amendment request to have two properties designated as industrial development. The subject properties are labeled as tax map number 080-00-03-044 and tax map number 080-00-03-121. The parcel ending in 044 is 4.12 acres, and the parcel ending in 121 is 0.82 acres. The 4.12 acre tract is currently zoned as mixed business, and the smaller parcel of 0.82 acres is currently zoned as general commercial. Both properties are currently being used for storage, and there is an office building located on the smaller parcel of 0.82 acres. The applicant is requesting a zoning map amendment to allow the owner to build a material recovery facility, also known as MRF. This facility would replace the construction and demolition transfer station that is currently in use at 156 Pearlstein Drive, which is across the street, as you can see from the proposed parcels right here, which is that parcel 046 that is on y'all's monitors. According to Article 6 of the zoning ordinance, the current zoning does not allow for the MRF, but is allowed conditionally in the industrial development district as labeled in Article 11, Section 7, subsection 18. According to the 2018 Jasper County Comprehensive Plan, the future land use map identifies this area as commercial center, which are commercial nodes that are already developing and have a suburban rather than a rural character. The commercial center encourages mixed use development. The adjacent parcels are zoned primarily general commercial. There is one adjacent parcel bearing tax map number 080-00-03-046 that is currently zoned as industrial development. This parcel is also owned by the applicant, and as I previously mentioned, this is the parcel that has the construction and demolition transfer station. Adjacent land uses are a mix of commercial and industrial development and vacant lots. The subject properties are accessed by Pearlstein Drive. The parcel bearing tax map number 080-00-03-044, actually both parcels for that matter have frontage on Pearlstein Drive, and have direct access to North Okeechee Highway, Highway 170. North Okeechee Highway is a 4-lane state-maintained road classified as principal arterial thoroughfare by the South Carolina DOT. Pearlstein Drive is paved and maintained by the state, thus classified as a local road. There is a traffic signal that serves Pearlstein Drive from North Okeechee Highway. And as well, the applicant is here and is present and has a presentation available for y'all. So,
I have a question. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You lost me. If you don't mind, this, there is already an MRF facility operating in this area. Is that what you said?
I believe it is called a
They call it a transfer station, but it
Transfer
was
station.
permitted as a material recovery facility.
Where is it located?
It is the parcel 080-046, the one across the street. So the one that's already marked as industrial development.
Oh, it's purple on this. Okay.
Yes, ma'am. The one
Okay.
marked as purple.
Crossover here.
Yes, ma'am.
And what is the zoning there?
That is industrial development.
Industrial development.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
And that is the
gotcha.
zoning that they're trying to get into these other two parcels as
I
mentioned.
gotcha.
Yes,
Okay,
ma'am.
thank you.
All right. Y'all ready? Perfect.
They have a presentation for you.
Let me get my mess out of the way for y'all. Sure. Get my mess out of the way for you.
Hello, my name is Chad Abel. I'm representing Coastal Waste and Recycling, and I've been on with the company since we were founded in early 2018, which we started in Florida in Hobe Sound with about 5 trucks and 15 employees. If you'd like to go ahead and flip 2 pages, I just showed the application on the first page. Just to give you a little background, I think it's important to know, who's doing business in your community and where we've come from. So about approximately 2 years ago, and this is where I have, Coastal Waste and Recycling, or Pros Disposal USA LLC, is the company we acquired in order to enter the South Carolina market here in Beaufort and Jasper County. So we're requesting this zoning amendment, and that's okay. The good news is, so just to carry on a little bit, We now employ approximately 1,700 people. We operate over 800 collection and support vehicles, and we own or operate over 42 facilities in Florida, Georgia, and South Carolina. Here a little bit closer by, as far as our interaction with municipalities, we do run the residential contract in Augusta, Georgia for the city. We also have other municipal contracts, but our company was really founded on construction and demolition, debris collection, and recycling. What is our proposal? We're here to install the best available technology, and I've got a couple examples of that when we flip through the screen. This is an allowable use for a C&D MRF if it is zoned as an industrial development district. As you said, the larger piece of property is technically on 152 Shinger Avenue, and then on the other side, Pearlstein Road is the current access to the site. There's a little bit about C&D. To flip to the second page, this is an example of a recycling center that is extremely similar in acreage, logistics, and everything else. This was Coastal One because it was our first facility we started, but we were able to rebuild the site in 2024, and that is an aerial view of what the site looks today, which would be very similar to what we're proposing to put onto the property on Pearlstein. A little bit about what we do with the construction and demolition debris. Our recovery rates range from 60 to 70% that we can get diverted from a landfill or beneficially reused at a landfill, so we're saving airspace for the disposal network in the community. We're returning to the commodity markets, wood, concrete, ferrous and non-ferrous metals, cardboards, and plastics in order to achieve those recovery rates. The next slide is going to show a 3D version. This is the system that was in that Coastal One facility. This is not a pick and pack junkyard type situation where you have folks standing on the ground going through a pile of material. This is pretty highly sophisticated equipment that is separating the materials primarily by size. So the equipment runs material from the left-hand side as you look at it down a line, and it's allowing the smaller materials to drop through that primary screen. Then it proceeds up on the conveyor systems for a primary sort where you're, for a facility of this size, probably having 10 to 12 people that are doing a manual sort. The rest of the equipment is taking the contaminants off of concrete. It's separating wood from the plastics, and again, primarily done by sizing. The next slide. This is just an example of where the current property sits today, the 149 Pearlstein Drive and the 152 Shinger Avenue. Our proposal, as each individual parcel is zoned slightly differently, we would just like to get this all into an industrial development zoning. And as noted, our property across the street really is zoned properly, but the dimensions do not work out for proper permitting of the facility, and frankly, we want to make sure we're following all the rules of the DES as well as Jasper County. So really high level, we've got a better rectangle on the other parcel, and that's why we'd like to move our facility across the street. The difference between a transfer station and an MRF is a transfer station, the trucks come in, they put the stuff on the ground, it gets loaded out to a bigger truck, and it goes to a landfill. There's no processing done other than very, very simplistic. Equipment operator sees a large piece of concrete, he may remove that, and we may be able to get that to an aggregate plant to produce rock on it, but the recovery is next to nothing. You're talking less than 1%. Primarily, it is just a deposit, load, and go away with the material into the landfill network here in Jasper County. Just some images, for some context as to the other businesses on the street. Our facility is going to be in line with a similar appearance, similar traffic flows, and just similar operations. So there's really no difference between our activities and most of the other people on street, especially because the Jasper County regulations do require this type of processing to be indoors. The other portion of that is our traffic flow is not going to increase as far as volumes go. We're servicing the same customers if we build this recycling center and recover the materials as we would operating a transfer station. It should be of note that on an employee count basis, the transfer station, in order to do its operations, because it's pretty simplistic, requires approximately 5 people. A manager, a couple traffic controllers, and a couple operators is all it takes to do that. Whereas the little more complex recycling center, you're anywhere from 15 to 20 people that will have to be employed at this site. Administration, managers, qualified technicians, electricians, heavy equipment mechanics, laborers, and heavy equipment operators. So it's going to bring a lot more jobs doing the exact same volume of material that we process today. And then the last is just a theoretical site plan that I had BSC Engineering put on the facility. And this site plan just illustrates the potential entrances and egresses, as well as potential needs for surface water controls, as well as the location of the recycling center. And again, why am I doing it on the property across the street? This rectangle is wider, and it puts me in compliance with all DES regulations in order to install a system of this nature and deal with construction and demolition materials. So that is the system that we have in place at that Coastal One facility. Probably will be the mirrored system that'll go into a facility like this, because we're dealing with a very similar amount of volume. So we anticipate seeing the same materials coming out of processing and the same recovery that we're getting at that facility. So that is a high level and kind of an explanation, I think, why do we need to move across the street and what benefits are we going to provide. I would say Jasper County has a landfill operated by Waste Management, I believe, currently. And if all of these materials were to be unprocessed, they would end up at a facility like that, and that's taking up valuable airspace. If the landfill comes to an end of life, what do you have to do? You either have to transport it further out of network at additional expense, or you're going to be siting another landfill within your local county, which is very difficult to do. So that's why the recycling piece is really so important to the network. And just back to Coastal a little bit, I like to say we know what we're doing. Right now we're processing over 150,000 tons a month of construction and demolition, fibers such as cardboard, paper, plastic. We also operate 2 aggregate yards and metal processing facilities. So while we started out a little bit small, we've had some very good successes with this business and keeping recycling at our core. We don't have a lot of landfills. We have one. It happens to be in South Carolina as well, over near Beaufort. And that is another landfill for us. We would like to conserve the amount of airspace that is available to it. And by cutting close to 60% of the volume of what we bring that landfill today, that's going to extend our life. You know, in theory, if there's 10 years left, we're probably tacking on another 5 to 10 years of airspace available that also can continue to service the community that we're in. With that, I will have you all have any questions for me.
Boss.
Lisa, what was the name of that group that we had the problem with and the fire that just kept continually burning?
That was on Shinger Avenue. It was Able Recycling. I think that was the name they went by.
What was the name of it?
Able Recycling.
Abel's Recycling. Were they
And
doing something similar to what we're doing here?
So after the fire and after all of that, because what happened was the material just wasn't going out. It was coming in, but it wasn't going out, and as you know, it combusted. And Jasper County did not want to have that situation again. We have amended our material recovery facility. We have put in some it's extremely stringent regulations that has to take place indoors. So they will have to put a building up, and that's why there's a building across over here. The back of that's open, but it's closed on 3 sides. I think we have a page and a half of conditions for the recycling. Material recovery facilities, they really can be good. They can extend our landfills, give them a longer life. That's true, and so far,
I understand.
yeah, we don't have a lot of that going on.
They're gonna reclaim about 60% of what you bring in? So the remaining gets stacked up on the yard until you haul it off, and you haul it off?
Yeah, no, sir, it is not stacked up on the yard, and I will make one note, why my name is Chad Abel, I was not associated with Abel Recycling and Produce, so. So what happens is the residual material, which we call it residue, it's the interlines, non-recyclables or the things that are too hard to get for our system and our folks to do it productively, all that material is gonna end up at a landfill. So that's that roughly 30 to 40% maximum material does get landfilled. Rather than recycled. And to your comment about fires of utmost concern, all of our facilities that are built such as this, that are indoors, we actually install a 24-hour manned surveillance, off-site camera, thermal cameras and detection. It's called Fire Rover is the brand. So what these folks do, they actually have a canister that is on site. Looks like a Connex box or a semi box. That box has a fire agent in it that mixes with water, and if a thermal event occurs, the Fire Rover folks are notified, and a person gets on a camera, invests it both thermally and visually, and then they take control of the Fire Rover system, and it's just like having a firefighter immediately on site. The goal is to protect our equipment. Fires are something we are extremely concerned with. Whenever you have loose material, waste material on the ground, we take that extremely, extremely seriously, which is why we invest in things of this beyond just your normal sprinkling system. This development here, $10–12 million. I'm not going to let $10–12 million go up in flames, and that's why we put all the protections in place. So while emergencies happen at all times, we put our best management practice in play to prevent them in the first place. And then secondarily, we have best management practices put in place to react to unforeseen incidents.
Okay, are there any products that you don't take in, like solar panels and things like that?
So construction and demolition debris is specifically defined by the Department of Environmental Services, South Carolina DES. We are only permitted to take what we are permitted for. So the definition of construction and demolition is relatively loose, but it generally constitutes wood, concrete. Just think about it, anything that you're going to tear down in a building, that's what C&D can come into. Other little things like busted up concrete can come in, things of that nature. The reason they distinguish C&D separate from what we would call municipal solid waste is that it doesn't break down organically. It's relatively inert material, so it's not going to generate, when buried in a landfill, it's not going to generate those additional hazards of methane gas and things of that nature that a typical solid waste landfill would do. So it's a little bit less regulated because the hazards are less likely to occur.
Okay, I don't have anything else.
Dr. Bachman?
Where are you bringing materials from to your facility?
This is the surrounding areas. We have a hauling company on Okatee Road just down the street from this, and all of our trucks launch from that facility. In general, the effective radius of influence is roughly 30 miles. And sure, we have some customers outside of that mark, but generally this is coming from Jasper, Beaufort counties.
Okay. When you look at an aerial map, you're fairly close to Sun City, the backside of Sun City. What kind of noise pollution is generated?
Sure. So noise pollution, obviously, we don't like to have dust or noise exit our property at any levels that would be noticeable. The system is loud, but the system is also contained within a building, within a structure. If we were to flip real quick back to our Hope Sound location, which would be, I think, third slide maybe. Thank you. That's okay. So as an example, which we'll pull up here, our Hope Sound, like, I can't tell you, these are almost identical, settings, where we even have a little bit of residential nearby this Hope Sound facility. One more to the, oh, I'm sorry, you were on the right place. Just scroll over a little bit to the right. So as you can see on this overhead, we have commercial operations. These are some retail. There's an electrician that is on this business here. So this area is having the same effect that the Pearlstein and Okatee Road area will experience, which we are actually very good friends with our neighbors. And all of our customers and all of our outbound trucks pass by them on a daily basis. So the noise levels are dampened by being an interior building. The dust is contained within the interior of the building. That's really your biggest protection from noise and whatnot. You know, our facility is going to be much less noisy contained than, say, an aggregate or a concrete facility.
What are your hours of operation?
At right now, believe we're 7 to 5, but obviously we would just fall within the operating time frame of the current zoning. I haven't looked at it from a MRF perspective per se, but.
Okay. You know, I don't have the list of approved things that can go in industrial development, or what kind of things might be bothersome to a subdivision as close as Sun City?
If I might just point out real quickly, here's some of the conditions for the recyclable materials.
Okay.
I can pull up the use chart. You know, I would almost sit here like off the top of my head and say, well, you know, landfills, but really, that's not enough property for a landfill.
Right,
and it
right,
has to
right,
go through
right.
DHEC. So, trying to, we'll pull up the use chart. Here is the use regulations. So you can have, of course, utilities, which is allowed in just about every district. But, construction, that included, general contractors, home builders, specialty contractors. Manufacturing is an allowed use, all of your manufacturing. Most of your all your wholesale trade. The recyclable material is, conditional, and the used motor vehicle parts under wholesale trade is, conditional. Retail trade allows motor vehicle and parts, automotive dealers, automotive parts and accessories, lumber and building materials, lawn and garden equipment. Gasoline stations, truck stops, fuel dealers, rail and water transportation, truck transportation, used household office goods, transit and ground passenger transportation, motor vehicle towing is conditional, of course, warehousing, storage, postal service. Oh, I'm sorry, I went too far. There we go. Publishing industries, motion pictures and sound industries, broadcasting, telecommunications, information services and data processing, libraries, banks, credit intermediation, security and commodity contracts and financial investments, insurance carriers, related activities, funds, trusts, and other financial vehicles, real estate, mini warehouses, which is self-storage, professional, scientific, technical services, management of companies and enterprises,
Is that him? That's what that's where he falls, and that's not allowed in
They would
general
call it a
commercial.
material recovery facility, which is a conditional allowed use only in industrial. And you see it's not permitted in any other districts, it's just that conditional in industrial.
Why is that, Lisa? Why is it not permitted anywhere except under conditions?
Specific.
Except under industrial.
Mm-hmm. I mean, what is it that sets that industry apart that,
Well, all of the waste management really is
same thing?
designated for industrial. Y'all, this thing is, y'all know we had training in here today and we didn't have this
Yeah, it's
problem.
good. I just wanted to
That's all right.
kind of get in my mind
But
what,
like, you know, when you think of waste, different types of waste services, you could have those rollback containers, you can have porta potties and
Right.
things like that, that
so that's where,
we
okay.
kind of said all that needs to go in an industrial development. It is a
Okay.
conditional use. We have some pretty, like I said, some very stringent, conditions. I don't even think I'm gonna mess with this one since I'm over there. Is y'all's monitors working?
Yes,
Yes.
now it is.
So, here are the conditions. Let me make sure, wait, 42, I don't think I'm not on the right one.
It's 11-23 is the page for material
Yeah.
recovery facility.
See page number, unless here we go, okay. So the use shall be consistent with the most current Jasper County solid waste management plan. In our waste management plan, we do recommend, recycling. We don't recommend, any more landfills. So that's the first condition. The second condition is, the material recovery facility may only accept non-food items such as glass, newspaper, cardboard, metal, construction, demolition debris, and other similar materials. Sewage and hazardous substances shall not be permitted. Number 3 is all recovery and storage activities shall be conducted within an enclosed building with a concrete floor. Doors may remain open during active operations, but must be closed otherwise and should not face the right-of-way of the road, nor should they be visible from adjacent properties through the use of complete screen and 100% opacity, using berms, fencing, landscaping, buildings, or a combination thereof. Number 4 is recovered wood, concrete, and dirt may be stored outside temporarily, but shall not be stacked or stored higher than required fencing. Number 5, all areas adjacent to the transfer point, such as the tipping floor, the turning area, and the area supporting the trailer while it's being packed shall be paved with concrete. Number 6, adequate standing and parking facilities shall be provided on the site so that no packers or other collection vehicles at any time stand on a public right-of-way waiting entrance to the site. Number 7, all materials and activities not within fully enclosed buildings shall be enclosed on all sides by a chain link fence with evergreen screening of an approved type, a wooden privacy fence, or fencing of other material which has been given approval by the DSR. All metal or wooden fence posts shall have at least 1/3 of their length below ground level and shall be set in hard-packed clay or concrete. All metal fence posts shall be treated with anti-corrosive coating. All wooden posts shall be pressure-treated or curacao-coated lumber with at least a 4-inch by 4-inch nominal cross-section. The term fence shall be an 8-foot tall chain link wooden fence or fence and of other material. The B there is talking about an evergreen screen. Let's see. You know, it's defining what a fence should look like, what an evergreen screening should be, and that's not less than 8 feet when mature. Spacing shall be based upon the species used, that at maturity, the body of the branches of the tree or shrub shall not be more than 1 foot from the body of the adjacent planting. And then number C, landscaping is required outside of the fence and when evergreen screening is not used. 1 evergreen shrub shall be installed for every 5 linear feet of fence on the side of the fence, facing a neighboring property or public right-of-way. Number 8 is screening, buffering, and landscaping requirements shall be met in accordance with Article 12.8. Number 9 is all activity conducted on the premises must be contained within the visual screen, and the fencing shall be securely locked. Number 10 is no burning of any material other than material specifically designed or suitable for the purpose of employee comfort. Number 11, at least 75% of the total volume of each separated material type received during a calendar year and remaining on site from a previous year shall be used, reused, recycled, or transferred to a different site for use. Number 12, storage of items, materials should be arranged so as to permit easy access for firefighting purposes. Number 13, stormwater runoff and using BMPs. Number 14, the use shall comply with all state and federal regulations. Anyhow, I think if you get the point, we've really, because of what we went through before, we've really taken time to beef this up. They would have to go through a site plan approval, and that site plan will have to show that they meet all these conditions.
Okay, thank you, Lisa, I appreciate that. I smell something burning.
Is any other questions or comments?
Just curious, you said that it's all inside, it's all contained.
Oh, yeah.
Is there any noise at all?
Oh, there's definitely noise. Listen, it's
How
still.
are the workers protected from the noise? Do they wear earplugs?
So we do it, we bring a industrial hygienist into all our facilities, and they take air samplings for respiratory conditions, and they take noise readings for the decibels that you are allowed to hear over the course of an 8-hour period of time. So what ours have always shown is our dust suppression is able to maintain the proper respiratory conditions for no personal protective equipment. And for an 8-hour average, we are shown to be in excess of the OSHA standard, which is approximately 85 decibels. Mm-hmm. So all of the gentlemen in the plant that are working are required to wear earmuffs as well as hard hats for other personal protective equipment. So we do we evaluate our folks that work for us for every job task they have in order to, at a minimum, meet OSHA standards, and then we have our own company requirements to ensure safety.
Any other question or comment?
Mr. Chairman, I know I'm back. I did see my packet. There's one question. Is one of these plants already in Beaufort? The reason why I asked that question because about 2 or 3 months ago they took up part of the parking lot there where the grocery store is. And I went out there one day and the guys were hauling these big old slabs away. And I believe they were taking it to Beaufort. I know they can't take it to the recycle dump.
Yeah, I'm not, obviously familiar with that exact situation, but to my knowledge, there is no construction and demolition recycling occurring within Beaufort or Jasper area.
I'm not familiar with one.
Yeah. And I don't know if you were here for the parts. We have a transfer station across the street. I can't remember if you had stepped out at that time. So, and the reason behind the move across the street, in a sense, is the logistics do not fit into the DES siting criteria for us to do recycling center. So all we're doing is putting waste on the ground and taking it to a landfill, which we'd rather do the recycling piece of it.
Yeah, because, as a commissioner, when I hear the word recycle, because we have a lot of outdoor recycling in Jasper County. Yeah, but I do believe, I thought that's where they were taking them to Beaufort. I believe that's what the guy was. I went over one day and they were hauling these big old slabs away.
So if it was, if somebody was hauling concrete, let's just say it's a concrete slab.
Yeah.
You would be able to take concrete slab that's clean to an aggregate processor. They could crush it, turn it into aggregate. It would not be necessarily regulated by DES as a waste material because you're still dealing with, you know, a product in a sense. There's different ways to recycle that are outside of construction and demolition, outside of residential single stream type collection, that don't fall under the purview of the DES. And, you know, aluminum cans, right? Everybody collects aluminum cans. You can take it to a metal yard. That's not considered recycling per se if it's source segregated by a generator. Same thing would be for ferrous metal or iron or steel. If I own a business, well, my brother does this. My brother is a carpenter, and he does remodeling. So when he does remodeling, he may pull the copper wire out of the house. Because he's segregated himself that material, he can now take that to a scrap yard versus to a material recovery facility. What we're doing is my brother could be my customer. He demolishes a house or, you know, demolishes a room in the house. He brings me all the material, but he's left the copper wire in it. What I'm doing is what he could have done at the site. It's just he's more productive by just throwing it into a bin and letting me do the work versus doing that all himself. So it's like there's just a variance between how the generator, how the person creating the waste is either creating a waste or he's creating something that's not considered waste.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of the difference.
I was just curious because when I asked them, they told me they was hauling it.
Mm-hmm.
I meant these huge slab on dump trucks, and I
Yeah.
didn't know. I didn't know how that was being recycled. I don't know if there was a recycle plant in Beaufort, so I don't know how they
Sure.
recycle.
Yeah.
Would you be handling something like that in your plant?
So for a facility like ours, a large chunk of concrete that's like fills a whole box, no, that wouldn't, our system would break trying to put that through
Okay.
it. What we would most likely do is if we provided a box to a customer, say he's doing, demolishing a concrete parking lot, and he wants to say, hey, I'm gonna put only clean concrete in this box, then I can haul that for him. It wouldn't be considered solid waste, and I could take it to an aggregate yard for further processing. Because again, the generator is saying, I'm producing a clean material that is not solid waste. So I can take it to a facility outside of the solid waste network because it is clean, source segregated material.
You won't be handling none of that in your
So
facility?
yeah, it wouldn't. Stuff like that would go to a completely different type of processor.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Any questions, comments?
One question, how do you handle sheet rock?
So sheetrock is inherent to construction and demolition debris, obviously. What happens with our sheetrock is it becomes part of our residue.
Okay.
So yeah, the sheetrock, there's a couple markets. I have a friend in Ohio that does it, but really, the guys that are doing any sort of gypsum or sheetrock recycling, they're really doing cutoffs of new material, or they're taking off spec from a manufacturer. Once it becomes, you know, within the ball of what comes out of a demolition debris material, it doesn't have a use. So all that material ends up shaking out through the system
All right, so
and ends
that's
up
the
in our
residue
residue.
that's hauled off.
That's correct. So the residue would be the unrecyclable
Right,
materials
okay.
that go to a landfill.
That's all I have, Mr. Chairman.
I'm ready to entertain a motion.
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion that we approve the rezoning to industrial.
Second.
A motion by Dr. Boston that we give them a favorable approval for industrial, second by Ms. Ferguson. Ready for question? Hearing none, all in favor of such motion, let it know by saying aye.
Aye.
And opposed by the same sign. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your time.
Next thing we have is a road name petition, 2 Oak Road.
Alrighty. So this is a road name petition. The applicant is requesting that a new road be named 2 Oaks Road. The subject road is a privately owned and maintained road serving 3 total parcels, 2 of which are owned by the applicant and the other providing a non-exclusive permanent easement of 30 feet in width along an existing road located on the northwest corner of their 65-acre tract bearing parcel number 06000303002, thus separating also a 5.5-acre tract. The owner needs a new 911 address point, and the GIS coordinator requests that the access road be named due to the distance from the main road and the potential difficulty of navigating the parcel in the event of emergency. The road name petition has been properly submitted to the address program administrator, who, in conjunction with the emergency services director, has determined that there are no conflicts with any other road names. This is in accordance with the Jasper County Code of Ordinances, Section 25-126, new road name. No new public roads in the unincorporated area of the county shall be named without the approval of the Planning Commission upon the recommendation of the address program administrator. The name of any new road, public or private, shall not be duplicated or confusingly similar to any other road name already existing. The names of private roads which require naming to facilitate postal delivery and emergency response shall be recognized by the county at the request of the citizens who own property adjacent to the road. The name of the private road shall be commonly known to the community. In the event that there are two or more recommendations of names, the Planning Commission shall determine the name giving recognition to the name preferred by at least 51% of the property owners. Let me flip my sheet real quick. On the road, however, this shall not constitute acceptance or dedication of the road by the county for county maintenance and other purposes. Staff findings, road name petition is in compliance with the Jasper County Road Name and Ordinance. As such, staff recommends approval of the road name 2 Oaks Road. And there's a map of it up there.
Mr. Chairman, I make a recommendation to accept the staff's recommendation.
Mr. Chairman, second.
Motion by Dr. Boston to accept the recommendation, second by Mr. Jenkins. Ready for questions?
I have a question. I don't really understand this road. It looks like it goes by other properties that are assessed by this road.
So, it goes through, there is, let me pull up this.
It's this blue line, right?
No, ma'am. The blue line is the outline of the parcel.
Yeah, so if you, let's go back here. This red.
The red line.
Here is the
Oh,
road.
okay.
It goes from Stock Farm to, Morgan Olive Road.
Yep.
And
Okay, I was confused.
so I'm gonna go to the aerial map. So this here's Gillisonville, and this is Morgan Dollar Road. And there is an easement that's been in place for a long time through the property here. I'm pretty sure it's the Wall property. We have the easement, we made sure. And the fire marshal has been out there and taken a look at it, so.
Okay, I was just confused. And this last part that's outside the man's property, that's where the easement is?
That is where the easement is. Oh, sorry, that got really
And
loud.
we have a copy of that easement?
Yes, ma'am.
right? Okay, that's it. That's all I need to know. Thank you very much.
Previous question? All in favor of such motion, let my know, saying by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposers? Ayes have it. Next one is a road petition, Stone Waterway.
Alrighty. The applicant is requesting that 2 new roads be named Arbor Stone Way and Stone Walter Lane. The subject road is a privately owned and maintained road serving 5 proposed apartment buildings as part of the Aberley Chase Phase 2 development. The proposed roads will connect the existing Aberley Chase Phase 1 development to the Aberley Chase Phase 2 development. The site plans have been reviewed by the DSR and the fire marshal, both of which have given their approval. The road name petition is properly submitted to the address program administrator, who, in conjunction with the emergency services director, has determined there are no conflicts with any other road names. In accordance with Jasper County Code of Ordinances, Section 25-126, new road name, no new public roads in the unincorporated area of the county shall be named without the approval of the Planning Commission upon the recommendation of the address program administrator. The name of any new road, public or private, shall not be duplicated or be confusingly similar to any other road name already existing. The names of private roads which require naming to facilitate postal delivery and emergency response shall be recognized by the county at the request of the citizens who own property adjacent to the road. The name of the private road shall be commonly known to the community. In the event that there are 2 or more recommendations of names, the Planning Commission shall determine the name, giving recognition to the name preferred by at least 51% of the property owners on the road. However, This shall not constitute acceptance or dedication of the road by the county for maintenance and other purposes. Staff finds that the road name petition is in compliance with the Jasper County road naming ordinance. As such, staff recommends approval of the road names Arbor Stone Way and Stone Walter Lane. And then there's a map of it up there.
Are the roads on this map that you're showing us?
They should be.
This, yes, this yellow line here. So there, this is gonna be phase 2 of the Austin Chase Apartments, and, you know, this says Shore Haven Court, but.
Yeah, I'm looking at a picture now. It should be Arbor Stone Way. I don't know why it says that. The long one.
I think that probably goes for this side road, that's.
Do you have this exhibit that they submitted to us? I think I included it in the file. Maybe not. Yeah, that one. Yeah. Yep, that's it right there.
So it's this extension.
Yep.
And this one.
Yeah,
The-
okay.
The long one being Arbor Stone and the shorter one Stone Walter.
So they're gonna develop that.
That's going to connect to the phase 2 developments. Yeah.
And we've already issued the development.
Okay.
Yep.
So they own all the property.
Mm-hmm.
Commissioners, any questions, comment on the 2 roads?
No questions. Not
Um,
from me.
No, I move that we, oh, am I jumping the gun? I was gonna offer an amendment, a motion.
Okay, well, I'm ready to entertain a motion.
Okay, I move that we, accept the, road names proposed, Arbor Stone Way and Stone Walter Lane.
Second.
Motion by, Dr. Buckler to approve the road petition at Arbor Stone Way and Stone Walter Way. Second by Mr. Jenkins. Ready for question? Hearing none. All in favor, let know by saying aye.
Aye.
And opposed by the same sign. Ayes have it. Okay, the next thing on the agenda, discussion of rescheduling the December 9th planning commission meeting.
There was a conflict with using this room on December 9th, so we need to reschedule. And we're hoping staff would like to suggest December 16th, the next Tuesday, which is 4 weeks from today.
That's fine. I'm okay with that.
You wanna go from the 11th to when?
16.
The 9th to the
From the
16th.
9th to the 16th.
It's fine with me.
That's fine with me.
That's okay with me, Mr. Chairman.
Somebody make it business.
I'm checking. Hang on.
So, what time?
6 o'clock, unless you, 4 o'clock.
4 or 4:30?
4 o'clock unless y'all want to have it earlier.
I am always good with having it earlier.
Definitely not 6 o'clock. We went to 4 o'clock, y'all remember?
I had 4:30.
Early would be,
4
early,
o'clock.
early would be good, because that's 2 weeks before Christmas.
How's that sound to you, Mr. Jenkins?
Fine.
That's good to me.
What did you say,
What?
Mr. Jenkins?
We have it early.
16?
Hey,
Well,
we-
I mean, it's saying the thing this way. Once you post the time for the meeting,
Yeah.
you shouldn't be changing it.
So we'll have your schedule for you for and if y'all want to talk about different meeting times, we can do that.
We agree.
We
What
agree.
time?
You ready for?
Yeah.
I'd like to make a motion that we change our meeting date from the 9th to the 16th at 4 o'clock.
Motion by Ms. Dr. Boston. Do I hear a second? Second by, Ms. Ferguson. Ready for question? Hearing none, all in favor, such motion, let it say by aye.
Lisa, there's a pen.
Okay.
Okay.
Did y'all see the letter in our package from
Oh.
Hardyville Planning Commission?
Yes.
They're talking about, a joint board. I thought about that, council didn't put that in as a rule. Is that something we have to, can,
Well, I kind of missed that too. I know we all met and talked about working together, but
I don't recall seeing that letter. Could you summarize it?
yeah, it was in your package. It should have been the last thing in.
What did it say?
Oh, it says, thank you for participating in our recent joint meeting of the planning commissions from Jasper County, Ridgeland, and Hardyville. I think it was worthwhile effort to try to coordinate and build cooperation between each of our communities on issues of smart development and retaining what's great about our low country heritage. At that meeting, we discussed having each of the planning commissions appoint a representative to the informal joint effort and trying to identify areas of regional concern where we could work together. I've been chosen by the Hardyville Planning Commission to serve as our representative to our joint group. I'm hoping each commission will choose their representative and try to identify specific areas where we might beneficially work together. For example, at the initial meeting, someone identified tree ordinances as a worthwhile subject to consider for regional discussion. Another area might be joint training or regional discussion about infrastructure concerns. Please let me know if your planning commission chooses a representative so we can talk about getting together. Perhaps we could schedule a meeting either before or after a Ridgeland or Jasper County Planning Commission meeting. This was sent by Jeff Foreman, Vice Chair for the Hardyville Planning Commission.
Did we, you know,
Pretty nice letter.
I missed this.
So I don't know your take on it. I do know we're all have agreed to begin to work together. I know that I did suggest at that meeting maybe there be like a member from each commission could be a liaison. I didn't mean to really interact because I took it that our commissions were going to get together like these things. We were going to work on it as a commission. Whether it was quarterly, I didn't think we decided exactly, but I thought that's what we discussed, and I could be very wrong about that.
That was what I thought too.
Because I do sometimes have a little much going on, and sometimes, especially in meetings, I hear things wrong, and I have to go back and watch the video. So I'm not saying I'm right by any means.
But it seems like Jeff is doing this, and not that it's something that's
Is he chairman of the
mandated.
No, he was appointed by the Hardyville
Yeah, he was appointed.
Planning Commission.
for, to do this, to bring this group together?
No, to be a representative. The group, what he's saying in that letter is that when we all met together, there was an agreement to form a group.
Oh, I wasn't there.
Oh, okay.
You
And so
know,
that-
we did talk about an intergovernmental agreement. Was
So
that
they
at
were-
Planning Commission?
Every
or-
person, all three of the groups were to appoint one person to a joint commission that would talk about how, whatever.
Yeah, because,
That's what he's saying in that letter.
Am I in order,
I
Mr.
wasn't
Chairman?
Oh, okay.
I didn't understand that way myself.
Well, I remember somebody came, I was
I mean,
talking to the,
It's talking about we needed to build a coalition of relationship
right.
because of what the administrator said. Anything Jason to Hardyville, we need to hear from Jasper County.
Absolutely. We are being wagged around by Hardyville, I can tell you that, but.
Well, and Hardyville need to let us know what happened adjacent to Jasper County.
Well,
You know, we also all discussed making sure that like their planning commissioners were getting a copy of our stuff and that y'all were getting a copy of their stuff. And I don't know if you
Yeah.
are.
I do
I'm
get-
not.
I do get
I'm-
emails.
Oh, yeah, I get emails.
Y'all are?
I got one from Richland,
Is
I got
it-
one from Hardyville.
I'm not getting anything from Ridgeland at all, not even the agenda. I'm getting the agenda from Hardyville, but
Well,
none
I
of
got
the
one.
I don't get
action
anything
items.
from Ridgeland, I get it from
I
Hardy.
got one
You get
agenda from
agenda.
Richland.
I get the agenda from Hardy.
That's all you get? You
Yeah.
don't get anything else?
No, I don't get
That's it.
anything else.
And
We're
the
sending
agenda,
our
I mean,
whole
there's nothing
packages
else
to
send
them. But,
the
I
agenda.
mean, what I was hoping could be to ask that at some point that we can meet with our county council so we would be on the same page and we could discuss things of that matter.
So I had put in that request, and they were supposed to, I thought, you know, Mr. Kemp mentioned it at one of the meetings. He was sick last night. He wasn't at the council meeting. But they were supposed to be getting me a date, and I only gave them dates up through November, so I guess I got to pick more dates now. But and I can go back and watch this Hardyville meeting, because could very well be confused, because our council met too. I remember there being a conversation, and it might have been between the council members, about intergovernmental agreement and identifying some things we all need to work on, and maybe that wasn't done at planning commission.
It was
maybe.
something, because somebody, I was talking with the guy, Frankie from Richland,
Yeah.
and somebody walked up and said something about who should be appointed, so, you know, there was definitely.
We'll go back and look at that. I'll put Hunter on that. We gotta find it.
Mr. Chairman,
All right, we're not gonna take care of that today.
Take care of what?
the meeting.
Talk about appointing somebody. We're gonna
Yeah, I
research
think
that.
let us go back and watch that video so we know exactly what we discussed,
Let us know.
That's a great idea.
because I could be telling y'all wrong, and I don't want to do that. And we're gonna work on that meeting with the council, and then just one other thing, you know, we had a change in council in our U-Haul overlay district. We just kind of put the brakes on it? So we're picking that back up, but y'all did review the last changes. It is more or less just sat dormant. We haven't proposed a lot of changes at this point, but we may, we may shrink the area. We may get rid of RP10. So we're gonna get started back on that. I know right now staff's needing to meet with the council just so we can make sure we're all on the same page, so our efforts don't get shot down, and so we can find a medium that everybody can be happy about.
What about the Levy plan?
So our plan was, as soon as we got done with the U-Haul, to start that. That's still our plan. That was in our contract. It's just, this has taken so much longer than we thought. And then the bad thing is, there's soon gonna be time to begin to work on the 10-year comprehensive plan. But hopefully we'll get the Levy plan done first, I hope.
Okay. You guys will make a referral on those Levy area junkyards to make sure they're in compliance with DHEC and our local records?
Yes.
Our local rules,
Yes.
because they should have business license and
Those junkyards in the Levy area
that are right across from Nelson Court.
Mr.
Okay.
Chairman, it was not clear to me, who, that guy
I
was the
guess-
senator or the congressman that spoke?
That was a senator.
Yeah.
Senator who?
Davis.
He didn't tell us who he was.
He didn't say his
I'm not
name.
here as a
Yeah, but
lawyer.
he should have.
He
But
was
he
here.
said senator, but he
as
didn't
a
say his name.
No, he should have.
Was he here as a lawyer?
He said he was not. He was here as a senator.
But why would they,
He has
It's
worked on
clout.
exit
It's
3
called clout.
for years and years.
that's,
And he knows that they're $8 million or 80 million? $8 million
$95.
short for exit 3.
it was 80 million. And you know, it's a shame, I can't, and all
I
these
don't
roads
know
in
that.
Jasper County are tear for horse and a buggy.
I don't
And
know,
and we can't get our road fixed.
I don't know if they still are short that, but they were.
Chairman?
So
I'm
moved,
ready.
Mr. Chairman. So moved.
Senator.